Hey, what's up, everyone? How you doing? It is me, Mr. 4K Upscaler. Let's talk about the OLED, and let's talk about the peak brightness on the OLED. Now, if you're looking for that super bright TV, obviously the OLED, it's not going to be your first choice. Everybody understands that. Your first choice is going to be something like the QLED. All right. So, but in terms of peak brightness that it has, especially the 8 series that it has, in my opinion, do I think it's bright enough even for a lit up room? Sure. I have used this OLED on a lit up room. I have blasted all my lights. I can actually blast all my lights here as well, and I'm still going to be able to see just quite well. So practically now, well, not practically, realistically, forget I said practically, realistically, which I am. I have all of my lights turned on. I have opened my shades. I live in Florida, so there's plenty of sunshine, and I turned all my lights, all my lamps and everything. I lit up the entire thing, and still I'm getting a good peak brightness here. And here's the tricky part. This is where it's going to blow your mind. Here I am, not using the full OLED light. You're going to be shocked when I show you what percentage of OLED light I'm using right now. So this might shock you a little bit, and I'll explain why that is. Here's the shocker right there. Even at 73%, I'm still getting that nice peak brightness, even in a very lit up room. Okay? Now, granted, I'm not saying that, that this is the TV you should be looking for if you truly want to have that peak brightness in your big, giant living room. But people who say that the OLED doesn't have enough peak brightness, I don't think you know what you're talking about. I think the OLED has just the right amount of peak brightness to give you that nice viewing. Unless you live in an arena like, I don't know, Staples Arena in LA, or if you live in, American Airlines Arena in Miami Heat, I don't know. I mean, you really got to live in a very super bright environment for you to be really wanting to have some kind of like 2000 peak brightness or something like that. All right. So the reason I'm saying this, because again, this all comes back to the exaggeration point. Exaggeration. All of these naysayers about the OLED will find anything and everything to find some kind of a fault. Okay? And I'm here to tell you from somebody who's actually watching UFC right now on my QLED. Watching the UFC on my QLED right now, this is coming from a guy who actually has both of these TVs. And I can confirm to you that the OLED peak brightness, here we go, you can see me there as well, that the OLED peak brightness, to me, even at 73%, it's pretty darn good. But let's go all the way to the 100%. I'm going to play this footage, and I'm going to go all the way to the 100%. And look at this. We are at 100%, and look how bright it is. But why is it that the 8 series is so bright? Let's play this footage. Hold on. But why is it that the OLED 8 series is so bright? The reason why it's so bright is because it has this thing that's available on the 8 series. You might have heard about it. It's not DMT. It's not DMT, okay? It's not dopamine, all right? It's dynamic tone mapping. It's DTM, dynamic tone mapping. Dynamic tone mapping helps increase that brighter white levels. It hence increases the tone mapping of every and each pixel. Therefore, you got a much brighter television. And what am I talking about? And I'll show you that exactly what I'm talking about right now. Dynamic tone mapping. A big game changer in my opinion that helps enhance that brightness on this OLED. And what's funny, I'm showing a Samsung footage, but actually even the Samsung demo footage on the OLED looks fantastic. Guys, the 8 series on the OLED has improved dramatically. And people who say that it's not bright enough, that you need to, here's the thing, and this is why I get aggravated, this is why I get upset, because of so much misinformation out there. People saying that you have to watch your OLED TV in a very dark room. Not true. Here I am, all the lights are lit up here. Everything's lit up. I got more lights than you can think of here, okay? Lights after lights, some more lights down below, okay? So I got this entire room lit up, and here I am. I'm not having any issues. Even at 73% on the OLED light, I'm still good here. Even at 73%, I'm still good here. I can still see fine, perfectly. Look how bright it is. Look at that. Look how bright that is for an OLED. Okay? So, guys, this is my problem that I have in today's television tech community. There's a lot of misinformation out there. Granted, yes, we all get it. The OLED shouldn't be your first choice if you're looking for a super bright TV. We all get that. But don't tell me and don't tell others that you need to sit in a very dark room to appreciate your OLED. And this is the information that you are getting. This is the stuff you're getting from that camp. From that camp that just likes to talk all kinds of negatives about the OLED panel. Okay? And I'm not an ambassador for the OLED. I'm not trying to act like some kind of ambassador for the OLED, but I felt this year, I'm feeling that what a fool I was last year to believe in all this kind of nonsense, to believe in all this kinds of ridiculous exaggeration about the OLED. And I said to myself, I'm going back to the OLED because I want to see it for myself. I'm sick and tired of listening to all this negativity about the OLED. And I felt like it is time for me to go back into the OLED, revisit the OLED, and see for myself. And again, don't forget, this is coming from a guy who has 2 TVs, the QLED and the OLED, and I'm watching UFC currently on it. And this is the reason why I get so agitated. People ask me, why do you get so agitated? Well, because I can't believe that some of you out there will buy into this whole exaggeration. Okay? From some individuals who don't even have OLED. From individuals who are just repeaters. They are repeaters. They're just repeating what someone says. Guys, you can't take any merit or any kind of credibility from those individuals. They are repeaters. They're just repeating. Okay? Did you look at their YouTube channels? They got nothing. It's either a fake photo of something or there's nothing. Just some higgity-jiggy name. Whatever that they made up on their whatever joint 4, 5, 7, 8 accounts with their different emails that they have. All right. Credibility is the key here from somebody who has these TVs. And of course, I hate to repeat this. It's not sponsored. And I'm telling you, even at 73%, when it comes to the OLED light, you're still going to be good here. Right now, I'm at 100%. And I'm full blast lit up lighting all over this room. And I'm still enjoying my OLED. I'm still enjoying it. I don't have to sit in the dark room like some Count Dracula. Okay? People are acting as if the OLED is for the vampires. Like if you're a vampire, you need to have the OLED. I mean, so the reason I'm making this video, and the reason I'm passionate about this, because if I see something wrong, this is just how I am, guys. This is just how I am. If I see something wrong, I have to call it out. I have to call it out. and I have to tell you the truth. I want to tell you the truth because this is the truth that's coming from somebody who actually has this TV. So here I am, even at a 73%. Now I didn't even go to the 100. I'm at 73%. It looks just how beautiful it looks, man. And of course, my camera cannot even show you how beautifully this is lit up. So people who say that you need to have a dark room to watch the OLED, it's a total nonsense. Now, you will enjoy watching your OLED in a dark room because it's emissive panel. It's emitting every and each pixel by itself. So therefore, you will enjoy the OLED in a dark room. And the movies will look hell of a much better in the dark room with the OLED than with the LCD panel. I don't care if it's a Z9D, Z9F, it's still an LCD. You still can see a little bit of that light coming through. We're talking about picture perfect, every and each pixel emitting by itself. Okay, but in terms of peak brightness, it's pretty darn good. And it's not just me that's saying this. There's many YouTubers out there who will tell you that the peak brightness on the OLED is just enough. There's another guy called Tech and Travel. You guys should check him out. He's from UK. I like the guy, and he's really being honest. He's, you know, genuinely honest guy, and he wants to just genuinely show you, hey, here I am, been using my B8, and, you know, haven't had any issues so far. He's done a bunch of tests on it. He also he showcased the TV in a very lit up living room that he has, you know. Still no issues, no problems. I believe he's got a 65-inch B8. Check him out. I like the guy because he's honest. You know, he's like very honest. And I like YouTubers who are honest. I don't like YouTubers who are not honest. Yeah, there's me. You can see me right there. You see that? My display goes on to standby mode when if I'm not using it, so I can avoid the static imagery, so I can avoid the burn-in. There's precautions you can take on the OLED, okay? So there we are, even at 73%. Even at 73%, no issues, no problem. So here I am. I even moved it to 73%, and I'm still great, even with my lit up environment. So I really wanted to make this video just to clarify to everybody out there that, guys, to truly understand something, to truly know the difference, to truly see it for yourself, you gotta own the TV. It's okay to go to sometimes to these different channels and hear people's opinions. That's okay. You should do that as well. But you gotta be very careful not to step into a bullshit. You know, there's a lot of agenda out there, and you gotta be very careful how you do your research, okay? To whom you listen to whom you appease to. The best thing to do is to actually see it for yourself, okay? And I'm telling you right now, because I have credibility, you know I have these TVs, and I hate to repeat myself, but you know that I have these TVs, so therefore you know that I'm telling you exactly what I'm seeing. And here I am. It's bright. If this isn't bright enough, then I don't know. How much more bright do you really want it to be? And for the OLED, what the 8 series is delivering here, it's pretty darn bright. I don't have any issues watching my OLED in a very lit up environment. Okay? Unless you want to put your OLED outside by the pool where it's sun shining like 100 degrees, then whatever, dude, you know. Okay, or if you're living in an arena, basketball arena, NBA basketball arena, then I don't know. Maybe that too. But I'm pretty sure you're not living in a basketball NBA arena or NHL arena. Okay, I'm pretty sure you're not living in a stadium. So this whole, you gotta have 2,000 nits, 3,000 nits peak brightness. It's kind of like, it's exaggerated as well. Okay. Now, granted, having a higher peak brightness helps the HDR. I'm not denying that. I said that gazillions of times. Sure, it helps the HDR. Okay, it does. And I'm not saying that it doesn't. But for people to say that you're not going to experience HDR on the OLED, that'll be like me saying that there's no different kinds of fish in the ocean. Okay? Yes, you will experience HDR with the OLED. Yes, you will experience it. But are you going to have that super bright HDR like you do on a QLED? Of course not, because we're not there yet with the OLED technology to do that. But also for people to say that you have to sit in your dark castle like a Count Dracula in Romania, Transylvania, like you have to live like a Count Dracul, like a vampire, to watch the OLED, it's another BS. That's not true. Here I am at 73%, and I'm still getting a excellent viewing here. Excellent. Anybody who walks in this room will not have any issues watching it. Will not have any problems watching it from every and each angle. We'll see it perfectly. So guys, the whole point of this video, and see, this is the precaution I take. This is the precaution I take so that way I don't have a static imagery. Okay? If something gets paused more than 5 minutes, it goes to the standby mode. And if I'm not using it for another 5 minutes, it turns itself off. This is another way you can prevent the burn-in on the OLED. You take precautions. You take tips to prevent this stuff. All of this stuff, it's available on your option menu. I might have to do a separate video for like 25 minutes to show you these steps, step by step, on what you need to do when you first purchase your OLED. I think that's probably going to be my next video. Whenever I may be able to do it, maybe tomorrow night, if I get a chance, I might do that video where I'm going to show you in 15 minutes the steps necessary for you to do when you first purchase your OLED. I might do that video tomorrow. But please don't listen to individuals out there who's saying that you gotta live in a dark castle, in a vampire castle, dark room to watch the OLED. Not true. You can watch the OLED in bright environment as well. Now, it's not gonna be the greatest in comparison to something like a QLED or Z9D or Z9F. It's not gonna be the brightest, but you can still watch it. Okay, so don't buy into this whole notion that you have to be in a super, super dimmed, dark room. Because there's people out there believing that stuff. There's people out there actually believing that crap. I cannot have an OLED because I have to be a Dracula. I have to live in a dark room. Not true. You know, so. It's, you know, it's very easy to buy into a narrative. It's very easy to buy into a BS because you don't have a TV, you don't know what to think. So you hear repeaters. I call these trolls repeaters. They keep repeating the same thing over and over again, and you're starting to believe that. You're starting to believe this idea that you're going to have immediate burn-in on the OLED. You're going to start believing that you're going to have immediate retention on the OLED. You're going to start believing that you're going to get a very dimmed television, that you have to watch like a Dracula in a very dark room. All of that stuff, it's exaggerated. It's exaggerated. It's exaggeration. And this is the main reason why I went back to the OLED, because I wanted to prove to you that it's exaggeration. There's a lot of exaggeration out there. And that's one of the biggest problems that I have encountered this year with all these clowns, okay? And I bought into that crap last year like an idiot, believing all that nonsense. All right, well, there you have it. 20 minutes. Hopefully this video shows you that you don't have to be a Dracula to watch the OLED. It's bright enough as it is, okay? So there you have it. Thank you for watching this video. And I'm going to see you pretty soon. Take care. Have a good one, though.